Welcome to the program. You're watching Sean Bike. My name is Sean Santa Maria. In this video, let's talk about the reasons why cyclists like you and me sometimes ride outside the bike lane. Let's go. Dumaan muna tayo ng road tag dito sa Alabang West Gate. Kuha tayo ng replacement band for our road tag. Alright, before we begin, I want to state for the record that I'm not making this video to justify cyclists riding outside the bike lane. However, I'll say this. Minsan ang siklista ride yan outside the bike lane kasi kailangan. And that's what I want to cover in this video. Yung mga moments na necessary na kailangan lumabas ng bike lane. Let's begin. Dito tayo sa Daang Hari. And let me state the first obvious reason. Road conditions ng bike lane. See this? It's a dangerous manhole cover. Manhole na square, no? Usually manhole bilog. Pero in this case, square. Na yung mga lid, mga bloke ng konkreto with metal borders. These things are dangerous, and it's a good example of one road condition. Like right now, look at me. I can ride over it. Naka-gravel bike ako. But these are the ones na kaya, more or less. Pero minsan, itong mga ganito, talagang nakalubog, like the first one I showed you back there. At napakadami nito sa Daang Hari. And in other major roads din na may bike lane, usually, andyan ang mga manhole gilid yan eh. Ano ba formal na tawag dyan? I'm not sure, but for the purposes of discussion, manhole na itawag natin, okay? Square manhole. I could ride over it right now, but as I told you, minsan delikado. Look at the gap. Oh. Pag naka-25 ka, shoot ka dyan. And to ride outside of the bike lane na maraming ganitong hazards, to me, is justified. You just have to do it carefully. If you're gonna use vehicle traffic, if you're gonna use the vehicle traffic lane, I mean, you have to do it very carefully. Palagi ka mag-shoulder check. It's too wide. Ito rin. Another obvious reason why we ride outside the bike lane is because cyclists avoid objects that shouldn't be in the bike lane. What are these objects? Parked cars, debris like rocks, mga bloke ng kahoy, mga bubog, animals, pedestrians, and in the smaller roads, mga cart na mga street sweeper usually, mga nakaparadang vendor, mga motor na nakaparada rin, or slow-moving vehicles na pumapwesto sa kanan because they're gonna turn right. So kukunin nila yung bike lane, di ba? Kakanan sila eh. Although they should yield to bikers, nasa mga road signs din yan eh. Right turners yield to bikers, sinasabi. Anyway, so debris, objects that shouldn't be in the bike lane will cause cyclists to ride outside the bike lane. This is usually the case, no? Kapag papalapit ka ng stoplight, yung bike lane mo, kinuha na ng mga motor. Hindi ako galit sa motor. Pwede ba sila sa bike lane? Pwede naman, di ba? Wala naman talagang strict rule yan eh. Well, although recently may ordinansa na sa Edsa, bawal ang mga motor, di ba? Pero for some minor roads like Danghare, ang motor talagang gumagamit ng bicycle lane. Hindi naman ako galit dyan, pero sana may konting what's the word? Konting consciousness at respeto at konting prioritization na kapag nakita mong may bisikleta at motor ka, mag-ingat ka din. Dahil yung semplang ng bisikleta, mas masakit nun. Sa mga motor, kung gustong pumasok, pagbibigyan naman kayo eh. Daan lang kayo. We're gonna give you that space, no? Pero pagdating sa situation na merong kailangan magbigay, merong kailangan magbigay ng leeway, yung motor ang magbibigay ng leeway. Kasi priority yung bisikleta, kasi bike lane yan. And for the cyclists, yung mga siklista, huwag mag-expect na magbibigay din. Huwag kayong mag-a-assume na ibibigay sa inyo yung daan. Kasi baka dyan mangyari yung mga aksidente. As you can see, sa bike lane usually nagpo-form ang mga puddle, no? Mga baha-baha. Iiwasan din namin yan. And we're coming up a parked truck here. Lumabas ako ng bike lane kasi may nakapark. Tandaan nyo yung gilid. Palaging may nangyayari sa gilid eh. Palagi may nakatigil. Palagi may issue sa gilid. Kaya lalabas minsan talaga ang bisikleta. Here's another parked vehicle. Sakop na sakop niya ang bike lane, so lalabas tayo. So, who's the real party in danger here? Diba? Whatever his whatever his reason is, tatanggapin ko yan. Might be an emergency, no? Sometimes you have to stop. Eh, hindi rin ako galit dyan. But what I'm saying is, that parked vehicle gave me a reason to ride outside the bike lane. So this is a section in Danghare approaching Evia na walang clear bike lane. Walang marka. So we're using the unspoken dedicated bike lane, which is the rightmost part of the road. Basta nakagilid ka, okay ka. But you know, one reality out there is that kung solo ka lalo kung nakagilid ka, lalo kang gigit-gitin eh. Oh, we're coming upon a road hazard here. There's a pipe laying ongoing. It's gone on for years na. Palaging hindi na natakpan yung butas na yun. But another reason, yeah, road hazard. So lumabas tayo ng konti ng kalye. We're back here on the right side. Going back to what I was saying kanina. Pag mag-isa ka tapos gilid na gilid ka, ingat na ingat ka, mas may chance na git-giting ka ng sasakyan eh. Mas madali kang sindakin, so to speak. But if you're riding with a group, no, like me, no, when I'm passing major roads and I'm with a group of, let's say, 10 riders, 2 abreast, yan ang formation ko. Because riding a little wide is safer. Pag 2 lines kayo, mas kita kayo, mas may respect kahit papano ang vehicle sa'yo. Di katulad ng mag-isa. Ang dali mong you're an easy target. Businahan ka, nakatabi ka na, patatabihin ka palalo. Best thing to do in those scenarios, mag-isa ka, binusinahan ka, pinapagilid ka, gumilid ka na lang din. Do it safely. I want to say this once again, to my fellow cyclists. Use the bike lane for as long as you can. For as long as possible. Stay in the bike lane. But, hi, good morning. Lumabas kayo kung kailangan. Kung may mga hazard. However, lumabas lang kayo if you've done a shoulder check like this. And if the coast is clear, if you know you're safe, dun nyo lang gagawin. Because the moment you leave the bike lane, dyan nagkakaroon ng lisensya ang mga gagong driver para bastusin ka. Shoulder check always. Here's one reality I want to share, Alam nyo, hindi lahat ng kalye deserve magka-bike lane. May mga ibang kalye na pinilit lang din yung bike lane. And naging mas delikado pa. Because the premise is, we give you a bike lane, gamitin mo yung bike lane, pero yung kalye maliit, makipot, malubak, puro bubog, puro tindero. Hindi rin. You know what I mean? If you're a bike rider, if you're a cyclist, you know what I mean. And this message is somewhat directed to motorists also. Safety first, di ba? Lalo na kaming mga siklista. Yan ang gusto namin, safety first. Minsan yung bike lane hindi rin safe. Thank you sa mga nakaisip maglagay ng bike lane. We appreciate it. However, kung gagawin natin, magba-bike lane tayo for the sake of adding a bike lane, mali din. Some roads don't need a bike lane. That's the truth. And some bike lanes are put there na hindi naman inayos talaga. Wala rin. Safety first eh. And sometimes that means riding outside of the bike lane. Real talk lang. We just entered Springville in Molino, Bacoor. Isa to sa mga pwede kong daanan papasok ng village ko. Yung main entrance namin nandun sa may Daang Hari sa Crossings Cafe. But this is one of the it's one of the routes that I can take to get to my village. At magandang example ito. Walang bike lane, but madalas ang ride mo dito halos nasa gitna ng kalye. And you can see why. It's a very busy neighborhood. Tabi-tabi mga businesses dito eh. Medyo palengke town din tong area na to. So, ayan, look at the door zone there. I was riding, may nagbukas bigla ng pinto. Kaya dapat gumitna ka rin eh. In one of my recent videos, I talked about the door zone. Hindi ka dapat dumidikit sa sasakyan because hindi mo alam biglang may bubukas. So ride a safe distance from the door zone. Dahil ang daming paninda, maraming tumitigil. Tao, sasakyan. Halo-halo na. There's debris also. Marami rin basura, marami mga pile ng mga pinagwalisan. You get the idea more or less. No? Sa mga motorists who chance upon this video, thank you sa inyo. To those who are considerate enough to understand the dangers of being on a bicycle. Isang haging lang, pwede kami tumalsik. No? Loss of life or limb, palagi. As we approach this vehicle na nakabukas ang pinto. loss of life or limb. Not to mention, minsan yung mga bisikleta pa ng mga siklista, mas mahal pa sa kotse. Di ba minsan, uunahin pa ng siklista problemahin kung ano nangyari sa bike kaysa sa mga buto-buto nila. Anyway, thank you to those motorists who understand and those who observe the safety aspect na kailangan i-observe when it comes to cyclists on the road. Thank you to you. And to my fellow cyclists, mag-iingat tayo. Let's follow rules. Alam ko minsan kailangan gumamit ng labas ng bike lane. But as much as possible, let's stay within, ha? Let's stay within. Huwag din tayong magbigay ng mga triggers ng lisensya para git-gitin tayo. And when we do ride outside the bike lane, always shoulder check. Safety first. Tandaan nyo guys, kung may gagong motorista, may gagong siklista din. Huwag tayong maging ganon. This is the end of the video. God bless you all. Ride safe always. See you next time.
Yeah, yeah.